Scattered storms continue. Another hot day Sunday. I'll let you know how hot we'll get and when to see more storms.
An Animal Center director fired. How Nash County leaders are responding to a report that detailed no water, dirty litter boxes, and a lack of medical care inside a facility there. Plus, red, white, and boom, how soldiers are celebrating Independence Day at Fort Bragg. WRAL News is next.
News headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Passing through central North Carolina today, the Durham Bulls Athletic Park was flooded earlier this afternoon. But the game, hey, it is still going on tonight. The other thing fans have to worry about, though, you see it right there, the sunshine, the heat out there. Meteorologist Grant Skinner is here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Grant, just how hot did it get today?
Well, he got into the mid-90s for a lot of spots. Other places not as hot thanks to some rain-cooled air across the area. You can see heat index right now, though, at 86 in Durham still. So despite the rain, it still feels hot out there. 97 Goldsboro for the current heat index, 91 in Clinton. It'll stay warm and muggy throughout the rest of this evening. Here's a live look outside from a WRAL Garner Tower camera. Some showers still ongoing to the south and east of there. We'll see more showers and storms lingering over the next few hours. A live look at radar showing showers and storms from the dual Doppler 5000. Back to the south and east, closer to Goldsboro. A lot of lightning with some of these storms and heavier downpours just to the east of Raleigh. Zooming in on some of these storms, moving just east of Dunn and Benson towards Four Oaks. Smithfield, heavy downpours continue and some brief wind gusts. We'll talk more about the timing of storms for your Sunday coming up in just a bit.
Grant, thank you very much. Hot one out there yet again. Of course, you want to make sure you've got the new WRAL weather app downloaded on your devices. You can track storms headed to your area and monitor those temperatures hour by hour. The app is free. The supervisor of Nash County's animal shelter has been fired. County leaders confirmed that firing to WRAL after a report released this week revealed instances of no water, dirty litter boxes, and a lack of medical care at the facility. WRAL's Flynn Snyder got a look inside the shelter and spoke with the county's manager, who called the findings disappointing.
Kennels and cages at the Nash County Pet Connection Center house animals eager for a forever home. A report released this week from North Carolina's Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services says some cats and dogs here were not properly cared for.
We have taken some disciplinary action. We've made some changes in leadership.
Nash County Manager Stacy Schatzer says Shelter Supervisor Matthew Ingram was fired after the report's release, which says 3 animals were euthanized before a required minimum 72-hour period. Among other violations, it says Ingram was not truthful with the state investigator, that the shelter failed to clean enclosures, and did not give some animals proper veterinary care, resulting in $6,700 in fines. Schatzer says officials need to make sure staff are trained properly and following the law to increase public trust.
Why wasn't that not being done before?
I mean, I can't answer that. At this point, all I can say is it's been revealed to us, and so all we can do is act on it, and that's what we're doing.
And in an effort to boost that public trust, the shelter hosted an adoption event Saturday, hoping to have families take these animals home while also getting people in to work here to staff the facility.
Chris Carey oversees administrative operations at the shelter. He says a staffing shortage is among the facility's biggest challenges.
I have met with the state inspector, and I have come up with a corrective action plan that we are going to conduct and move forward, and the state has offered to work by our side and get us in the right direction.
You're a good girl.
Lillian Klein left the adoption event with a new dog named Blondie. She and others said the report shocked them, given positive experiences with staff in the past.
Sometimes things happen, and the transparency, doing the report, doing everything, managing things, I think that's to be commended.
Nash County has just under 60 days to either pay the fines or appeal the penalties. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, Rocky Mount.
And county officials also held on-site interviews today for people interested in working there at the shelter. Ingram was not immediately available for comment. A man is behind bars after shooting and killing his cousin on Friday night. Police say 26-year-old Jamon Easter was killed on Schaefer Place yesterday afternoon. 19-year-old Jess Martin has now been arrested for that crime. Investigators say that Martin and Easter were cousins. Martin is now being held without bond. New tonight, a man is dead after an antique tractor ran off the road and crashed in Moore County. This all happened along Dover Church Road this afternoon. Officials say several tractors were headed home after a parade when the crash happened. Troopers say one of the tractors veered off the right side of the road and hit a tree. The driver of that tractor was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. His name has not been released. According to police, it's likely that the man suffered a, quote, medical episode before losing control. A Goldsboro mother and her 2 kids are home tonight after being found safe. Jasmine Wilson and her 2 children, Jade Wilson and Zayden Sutton, were reported missing on Monday. They were last seen on June 10th at the Irish Inn on Sunburst Drive. Today, we learned the mother and her children are in good health and are in no apparent danger. Police haven't said where the family was located or why they disappeared. We're working to learn more about this crash right here on Interstate 540 East near Creedmoor Road. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows the van there on its side in the middle of the highway. No word on any injuries or the cause of that crash at this time. Mourners honoring the life and legacy of Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark gathered today. A private funeral was held for the couple who were shot and killed in their home on June 14th in what authorities say was a politically motivated assassination. Among those who attended the funeral, former President Joe Biden and former Vice President Kamala Harris. Jen Sullivan has details on how they were remembered.
A somber Saturday as family, friends, and political colleagues gathered inside the Basilica of St. Mary in Minneapolis to say their final goodbyes to State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark.
Our hearts are deeply saddened at the loss of Melissa and Mark.
The Hortmans were shot and killed in their home June 14th in what authorities say was a targeted attack. Police say the shooter was 57-year-old Vance Belter.
We are the ground zero place for political violence and extremism.
Saturday, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz delivering the eulogy.
I get to remember as a close friend, a mentor, and the most talented legislator I ever known.
Friday, the Hortmans lay in state. Between their caskets, the urn of their beloved golden retriever Gilbert, who was also shot during the attack and later euthanized. Just a few miles away Friday, Belter was in federal court where he faces multiple charges, including murder. Police say he also shot and seriously injured State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette in their home. Authorities called the attacks a politically motivated assassination. Court filings show authorities searched Belter's vehicle and found at least 3 AK-47 assault rifles, a 9mm handgun, as well as a list of names and addresses of other public officials and figures with ties to the abortion movement. Earlier this week, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi responded to concerns about politicians' safety.
And I also want to make sure all members of Congress are safe as well.
Jen Sullivan, WRAL News.
A live look at the Senate floor tonight here in the WRAL Live Center. Republican leaders there trying to hold a key test vote on the big, beautiful bill, which was only released overnight. And it is a big bill indeed, 940 pages. A self-imposed July 4th deadline for the passage of it is coming quickly, too. North Carolina senators are in disagreement on a vote to pass President Trump's bill. Take a look. Senator Tom Tillis shared this on X. He says the bill contains significant changes to Medicaid that would be devastating to North Carolina, and he can't support it. And Senator Ted Budd supports moving to debate on the bill because it, quote, includes major reforms to slow the ballooning cost of government programs and root out waste, fraud, and abuse. Right now, it's unclear if GOP leaders have enough support for this ever-evolving legislation. Back to you.
Yeah, Megan, we know you're going to keep your eye on that. Thank you. Well, Fort Bragg is celebrating Independence Day today. The flag ceremony just wrapped up in the last few minutes. Attendees also got to see a parachute jump demonstration from the Golden Knights. Of course, while we're out there having a good time, tensions still high in the Middle East. It's been a week since the U.S. targeted 3 Iranian nuclear sites. For troops in North Carolina, that means heightened readiness and the possibility of deployments.
What's going to happen is going to happen. We have the greatest military in the world. Things are a little hairy. You got a lot of political divide, but coming to an event like this, there is no political divide.
Yeah, retired Master Sergeant Yvonne Bell there says this early Independence Day celebration is just what we need in a time like this. Parmalee will be taking the stage soon. Neon Trees and Ludacris are also performing tonight. And the July 4th festivities are almost here across our region. WRAL Out and About has a map and list of 25 or more local fireworks displays and Independence Day festivals in Raleigh, Durham, Cary, Apex, Garner, Clayton, and more. Just search fireworks on WRAL.com. A more affordable housing will show you Wake County's newest income-restricted apartments. That's just ahead. Plus, rebuilding one small act at a time. How 2 local Western North Carolina businesses are turning tragedy into something a little more tangible. Welcome back. All right, a little bit of good news if you've been struggling with your rent. A community in Wake County held an open house today to show off its new affordable housing opportunities. Granite Falls Apartments in Rollsville have income-restricted apartments. Rents there starting at a little over $1,200 for a 2-bedroom apartment and $1,400 for a 3-bedroom apartment.
It's so much easier, so much better for people to have the opportunity to live in a home that's beautiful and they can enjoy, and their children are safe, and things are just, peaceful for them, and they don't have to worry about paying exorbitant pricing for an apartment, and they're happy in their home.
And today's event also had some fun events for the family. There was a food truck, bounce house, and water slide, and referral awards for current residents. And more good news here tonight. Chimney Rock State Park has officially reopened to the public. It's been closed for 9 months, ever since Hurricane Helene. Reservations are now required to visit. Admission is $17 for adults, $8 for kids 5 and older. Younger kids do get in free, and there's a discounted rate for seniors. Keep in mind, Chimney Rock Village is still closed to tourists. And here's a little something. If you're popping up that tree for Christmas in July, 2 Asheville area business owners are teaming up to try to turn debris from Hurricane Helene into handcrafted Christmas ornaments. Each one is made with heart, hope, and 100% of the profits going back to local recovery efforts. The creators wanted to turn tragedy into something tangible, using their graphic design and woodworking skills to try to make that dream a reality.
I couldn't exactly be, on the ground volunteering and out there, which is what we wanted to do, my husband and I, but we were like, maybe we can just, create something that could be, seen or that could be helpful.
How can we turn this devastation into something beautiful, something memorable, and something also that will help the communities around us?
The two have raised close to $3,500 from those ornaments, and the greater effort raised about $45,000 for Western North Carolina. I got to tell you, the weather outside right now, granted, makes me want to go to the mountains. It is still so hot outside.
Yeah, really hot out there, and showers and storms pretty widespread for some spots across the area today. Other spots more isolated. I would say scattered showers and storms today. More isolated storms into tomorrow, into the afternoon and evening, so watch out for those. Going to be another hot day Sunday as well, as highs climb back into the mid-90s. Index values pushing over 100 degrees once again. Here's a view from Goldsboro. You can see off in the distance some dark clouds, some showers and storms still working their way through Johnston County right now. You can see this batch of showers and storms producing a lot of lightning just to the northwest of Goldsboro. That's why I was watching that camera there from Dual Doppler 5000 showing Smithfield, 4 Oaks seeing the heaviest downpours right now. A lot of lightning as well in the area. Some heavier downpours back to the just southwest of Clayton as well. So watch for more storms to continue in this area. What's concerning is the fact that there's a lot of heavy downpours right here just kind of sitting over the area. So I think some isolated flash flooding can't be ruled out over the next few hours. Temperatures right now in the 70s and 80s for most spots. So staying pretty warm and humid out there. 84 Fayetteville, 87 in Southern Pines, Goldsboro at 81, South Hills at 80 degrees right now. And overnight tonight will stay warm and humid. Low to mid 70s across the region, 75 in Raleigh. Some brief storms possible early, but I think most places will stay quiet overnight. 71 Roxborough, 74 degrees Rocky Mount by tomorrow morning. The heat index forecast showing once again all the way through the day tomorrow. It's going to be a hot one. Already in the 90s for our heat index by 10 a.m. 2, 3, 4 o'clock, pushing well over 100 degrees. So it's going to be important to drink plenty of water. Take breaks in the AC when you can, because it's going to be a hot day. And showing across the area, some places may get closer to 105, 106. No heat advisory in place, no weather alert day tomorrow, but it's still going to be a hot day. So make sure to take that seriously over the next couple of days. Our next weather maker is a good chance for showers and thunderstorms across the area into Tuesday and Wednesday as our next front approaches. Some storms could be strong to severe. I think damaging wind gusts would be the main threat. Also could see some localized flooding. It's going to tap in all that summer heat to bring us a good chance for showers and storms. So 50% rain chance Tuesday, up to 60 overnight, then 50 on Wednesday. In other news in the tropics, Tropical Depression 2, first advisory was at 5 p.m. this evening. This is in the southwestern Gulf. This is closer to the Bay of Campeche, 30-mile-per-hour winds. It will move to the north and west, so not a threat to the U.S. Gulf Coast or North Carolina, staying far away from us, but again, going to bring isolated flash flooding to portions of northeastern Mexico. So no threats there for us. You can see pop-up storms again tomorrow, 96 degrees for the high. Heat index values once again above 100 degrees, so it's going to feel hot and muggy out there once again. A brief relief for the middle of the week as the showers and storms roll in. 89 for the high Wednesday, but look at Friday, 4th of July, back in the mid-90s. Limited rain chances, though, which would be good for a fireworks forecast there. But 95 on Saturday. Overall, staying hot the next few days. A bit of relief with those showers and storms by the middle of the week. Looking forward to it because it's still really hot and muggy out there.
Yeah, Grant, absolutely. Thank you very much. And, you know, with those temperatures, you wouldn't think we'd be talking hockey, but you know what? We got WRAL's Pat Welter out there, Hurricane Draft headquarters, where, Pat, they just wrapped up last few minutes.
Yeah, Eric, they didn't make a pick yesterday, but they sure made a lot of them today, plus another trade. Why Associate GM Darren York said it could not have gone any better. I'll tell you why next.
Mike Kelly, death taxes in Carolina, either taking timeouts or trading back, right? It's what they do. It's what they do, absolutely.
Hey, just because it's funny doesn't mean it isn't smart. 27 patents and a Harvard degree. Yeah, Eric Tulsky, about as smart as it gets for the Canes. Pat Welter coming to you live from the Canes draft headquarters at the Lenovo corporate offices here in Morrisville. And yeah, the Canes essentially turned their late first-round pick into 3 second-round picks plus a future pick. I asked Associate GM Darren York about it. He said it was all about just maximizing value and allowing them to get a cluster of players that they really wanted. So finally, pick number 41, the Canes take Russian goalie Semyon Frolov, the 18-year-old, the third goalie off the board. He's 6'3", 203 pounds, described as wiry and athletic. Sounds very similar to the last Russian goaltender Carolina selected in the second round, Pyotr Kochetkov.
Yeah, so this was our top-rated goalie, probably one of the best feet, really athletic, side-to-side movement, and being able to read the play going from across the crease is something that our goalie coaches really liked. We're getting a little nervous that we might not have been able to select, but we're obviously happy that we were able to get him.
Yeah, trading back a little risky, but they got their goalie. York said they had him rated incredibly high. And third time was the charm for Charlie Serrato. The Canes take the Penn State freshman center, 49th overall in the second round. Serrato, the son of a former NFL exec, had been passed up in the draft the last 2 years. Serrato had 15 goals for Penn State last season, including a no-look game-winning assist, which sent Penn State to their first ever Frozen Four.
Strong on the face-off, strong two-way game, smart defensively, has a lot of skill, plays exactly how we want to play. So this is a guy that would fit right into our system.
In York's words, the draft could not have gone any better. So here's the rest of it. At number 62, the Canes took another center and another Russian, Ivan Ryabkin. York called him an unbelievable goal scorer. The run on Russians continued in the third round. The Canes take a pair of defensemen, Kurbin Limatov and Roman Bausov. Some teams afraid to take Russians. York and the Canes front office clearly is not. They had no picks in the fourth or fifth rounds. Then the Canes took Swedish forward Viggo Nordlund in the sixth and Swedish forward Philip Ekberg to round out the draft in the 7th. And I got to tell you, it's been really cool to get an inside look at the Canes draft process the last 2 days. Now that the draft is in the books, the focus is going to shift to free agency. And Eric Tolsky said it's been a difficult year to get things done. Everyone just looking to get better. But if they can't get a trade right now, maybe they can later in the season.
I think one of the things we will see is that after July 1st, teams will realize what they did and didn't get, and there may be a secondary wave of movement there, and there may be a tertiary wave of movement during the season, because every team's trying to get better now, and not all of them will. And as we get halfway through the season, there may be players that come available then that aren't available right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Mikko Rantanen trade talks began in the summer last year, so the seeds get planted. Sometimes they don't bloom until the deadline. So the next step right now is Canes development camp. A lot of these guys are going to be flying in tomorrow. York said that all of the prospects that they drafted this weekend will be here for development camp on Monday. I will be there on Monday, Tuesday. Can't wait to see these guys in person. Back to you.
Yeah, Pat, love seeing that. There's been so much buzz around the Canes this offseason. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us here on WRAL News at 6 o'clock. We've got a lot more coming at you tonight at 10 and 11. Thanks for joining us, and have a good evening.